Okay. Did you know someone by the name of D Money? Yes, I did. D Money a member of a gang? Yes or no? He's BD. I know that. Is D Money still alive? No, he's not. Do you know who killed D Money? Yes, I do. Do you know where he was killed? Yes. Who killed D Money? Romeo and Rara. And where was he killed? He was killed on May. How close is May to Goonie territory? Walking distance. Is May a friendly block or an opposition block? An opposition block. Your Honor, at this time, the government will move into evidence Government Exhibit 1611-1 and 1611-2. I don't believe there's an objection. Any objection to the admission of Government Exhibit 1611-1, 1611-2? Judge, can I just speak to Mr. Berry for a second? You may. No objection. No, sir. No. It will be admitted without objection. You may publish. At this time, the government is going to play Government Exhibit 1611-1. Is that a video? Yes, Your Honor. Okay. No transcript, right? That's correct. No audio. Mr. Vaughn, do you recognize this block? Yes, I do. What block is that? That's Maze. I paused the video. In the upper left-hand corner of the screen, what, if anything, do you see? Someone walking. Okay. At this time, the government is going to play 1611-2. Mr. Vaughn, could you just explain to us what it is that you just saw? Basically, that someone just came out of cut and shot someone. Did you know the people that came out the cut and shot? Yes. How do you know those people? Because they was part of Goonie, and I know like how a certain person shoot and what they was wearing. Who was shooting? Romeo and Rara. Could you tell which one was Romeo and which one was Rara? Yes. I'll move back a bit. I paused the video. Can you circle the person that you believe to be Romeo Blackman? How do you know that that's Romeo Blackman from this video? Because he used to have the black coat with the black timber with the light pants, and plus we had been side by side before, shooting at someone, or if someone was shooting at us. And the other person, do you know who that is? That's Rara. How do you know that's Rara? Because after the accident, they had came to Elizabeth bragging about what they did. Okay. Now to the upper left-handed side of the screen, what if anything is in that area? You said to the upper right? Upper left. Upper left? Basically, that's like Push Squad and Mayblock. That's like who we into it with. Okay. Could you clear that the same as we did before? Huh? Push the top part of the screen, push the arrow, and hit clear. Thank you. I'm going to play it a bit more. Where do you see the individuals that shot go? Towards a vacant lot or something. Is there anything in that area that you know of? I know Romeo stayed on the next block, behind it. Okay. Now, you talked about a conversation when they came back. Let's set the scene. Where are you when this conversation happens? It was on Elizabeth. Whose place is it on Elizabeth? Like we had like little trap houses. Okay, and let's get into that a bit. What's a trap house? Basically like a place where we go like to chill, sit back, smoke, store our guns, and sell drugs out of. You're at Elizabeth. Who is there with you, if anyone? I know it's me, Romeo, Ra-Ra, like Tuka, and some other shorties. The conversation. Did a conversation take place? Yes, it did. Was this conversation in person or over the phone? In person. In relation to what we just watched, when did this conversation take place? After the incident, we was on the corner of Elizabeth. Did this conversation happen inside or outside? It was outside. Now, I know we say they and he, so let's talk about specifically. Who spoke to you about this incident? Romeo. What, if anything, did Romeo say to you? Basically, they said they had just killed someone on May. And when you say they, who said it to you? Romeo. Did Ra-Ra say anything to you? Ra-Ra was just like in the background, just like happy, like that they did something. Okay. From your knowledge and understanding, did Goonies get any heat for this murder? Yes, we did. From who? The BDs. Were there members of Goonie from your knowledge that knew D-Money? Yes. And who were those members that knew him? I knew him, Boosie knew him, Boogie knew him. Did there come a time... Let me ask this. What's a candlelight vigil? Like someone who passes away and they have like a candlelight for them. And what does that entail? What happens during candlelight vigil? Basically like you mourning and you crying and stuff about the individual you lost. Was there candlelight vigil for D-Money? Yes, there was. Did anyone you know go to that candlelight vigil? Yes. Who went? Me, Romeo, Boosie, E-Boogie, and a bunch of the shorties. Why did you go to that candlelight vigil? Because we went to the candlelight vigil to try to cover up our name, to try to make it seem like we ain't the ones who was responsible for the murder, even though everybody was saying we was. Well, why were you trying to cover that up? Because basically like we ain't want like all that heat. We was blaming the person that had brought him over there. That's what everybody else was saying, so we was trying. Judge, I'm going to object that. Hearsay. Sustain. Pose a question. Sure. What, if anything, happened at the candlelight vigil? Okay. At the candlelight vigil, it was probably like 20 of us. We walked over there. And when you say 20 of us, 20 of whom? It's 20 of the Goonies. Alright, we walked over there. It was me, Boosie, Romeo, E-Boogie, and the shorties. We walked over there, and as we walking, everybody like looking at us and get the saying like, objection, saying stuff. Hang on a second. Pose a question. Sure. As you were out there, did anyone say anything to you? Without telling us what, did anyone say anything to you? No. Everybody was just like, objection, looking. Hang on a sec. What's the objection? That he's answering a different question now. He answered the first question. Did anyone say anything to you? No. He then went on to say something else. Okay, alright. Non-responsive on the second part. Sustained. Go ahead, pose a question. Sure. Were they staring? Was anyone looking in your direction? Yes, the family members and other people who was out there. What if anything happened after that? After that, Romeo was like, fuck that. Give me the gun. So you guys, let me ask you a question. Did you have firearms there? Yes, we did have firearms. How many? We had 2. Okay. So what happens after Mr. Blackman asks for the firearm? Romeo asked for the firearm. One of the shorties gave him the firearm, and then I had got the other firearm. And what happened next? After that, we stuck around for probably like 10, 15 minutes. Then we got walking back towards our territory. Did you make it back to your territory? Yes, we did. Any issues as you was on your way back to your territory? No, we didn't have no problems.